What's up? Welcome to Hey Have You Seen That Film? Where today we'll be discussing a lost film of the 1950s called Legend of the Lost, starring the legend himself, John Wayne. I'm really surprised that I haven't actually talked about John Wayne on this show yet because I love John Wayne. That's probably an understatement. I'm a huge John Wayne fan. Number one actor. I know I talk about Tom Selleck a lot, and he's definitely one of the top, in like my top 5 favorite actors, but John Wayne is number one. I have a cardboard cutout, a lunchbox, a blanket, a mug, several of his, like over 50 of his films, I think I counted once, and growing still. I've read a 600-page autobiography, just a biography. And I have another biography of his that I'm going to start reading here soon. So I love John Wayne, and that is an understatement. Today we're going to talk about Legend of the Lost, which also stars Sophia Loren and Rossano Brazzi. I'm probably saying his name wrong. But this film is different from John Wayne's typical films because it's not a Western. John Wayne is known for Westerns. Such Westerns as The Searchers, The Sons of Katie Elder, Rio Bravo, Hondo. I could go on and on and on. But this was just a little different from what he's typically seen playing. And so it makes for an interesting watch to see John Wayne not play a cowboy. The plot of this story is a man, Rossano's character, I probably saying his name wrong. He comes to Africa looking for a guide in the Sahara because he wants to go find a treasure that his now deceased father supposedly located right before he died and sent a letter to him explaining how to get there. When he gets to the town, he bumps into a woman named Dietrich, Sophia Loren, who she kind of plays it insinuates that she's a prostitute. And he kind of, right before he leaves, starts talking to her about God and love and forgiveness, and it kind of changes her ways at the end, right before he leaves, and she wants to start a new life. And then we have John Wayne, who is stuck in Africa. He doesn't really explain what happened to him, but basically somehow he got in a debt. He's trying to pay off his debt and get back to America, and this is his way out because he knows the Sahara Desert. So he is hired by this guy to take him to where he wants to go, and he will pay off John Wayne's debts and let him get home. Originally the two of them leave without Dietrich's character and start embarking on their quest, but then she follows them. And John Wayne, in the beginning or the first half of the film, is kind of the antagonist. He doesn't really... He sees Dietrich for who he knows Dietrich as. He doesn't give her that very much respect. And then you have Rossano's character who's like, no, you need to respect her. And he's trying to stand up for Dietrich. But then slowly throughout, the characters kind of swap their roles, and John Wayne becomes more of the hero and Rossano becomes more of the antagonist, which I found interesting, the swap within the film. And so anyways, it's a treasure hunting film, which is exciting, which is why it's different for John Wayne as well. He does still manage to wear a cowboy hat in the Sahara Desert, but I think it was fun seeing John Wayne in not a Western. I love his Westerns and I think he's great in them, and I watch them regularly, but it was a nice little switch up just to see John Wayne in something different. And when it comes to John Wayne's films, this one isn't his greatest, but it's not his worst. I enjoy it. It's not one that I watch regularly, but I watch it here and there. Like I said, what's fun about watching it is the fact that he's not a cowboy in this, and it's a bit of a switch up from his regular work that he does. It's always fun to see actors who play a certain kind of role or in certain kind of films switch it up a little bit. Especially back in the golden age of Hollywood, when a lot of actors typically found they had their thing they did, and that's what they stuck with. We have Errol Flynn, who was the swashbuckling hero. We had Doris Day, who was more often than not in romantic comedies. Same with Cary Grant. He tended to be in romantic comedies, but every once in a while, these actors would do something different from what they were typically known for, and it was always a nice little change up. This film it's a fun treasure hunting film, and I'd also go again and say it's not the best treasure hunting film, but it's not the worst treasure hunting film. This film is just enjoyable. It is what it is, and it's enjoyable for what it is. I don't think it's the best work of John Wayne. I don't think it's I don't think it's the best treasure hunting film, but it's fun. I mean, it's an hour and 40 minutes, hour 50 minutes, and the change up is what's nice about it. It was directed by Henry Hathaway, who would later go on to direct John Wayne in his Oscar-winning performance in True Grit, playing the character of Rooster Cogburn. So the two of them have worked together a few times, and so their work in this, you could say, was a lead up to finally getting to True Grit. This film, it does provide a little bit of action for you. There's a couple fist fights in there. There's some humor, drama. So it's got a good mix of the elements of a few different genres, but it's more of a drama, I would say, than anything. Again, one of the most interesting aspects of the film is watching the two lead men kind of switch roles throughout the film. One kind of being more of the antagonist, the other being more of the hero, and then watching them kind of slowly swap places. I thought that was an interesting character development for both of them, because both were doing great at what they were doing, and then they swapped and both did great at playing the opposite. So that is a plus for the film. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 6.5 for on the scale. But this is definitely one worth watching if you like John Wayne, or if you are curious to see John Wayne play a different character. And to work with Sophia Loren. She's also a Hollywood icon. And interestingly enough, she once said that while making this film, John Wayne was the nicest person. Her English wasn't that great, and people on set would make fun of her for it. But if John Wayne heard it, he'd step in and stand up for her, and he'd just keep encouraging her. "Oh, you're doing good. Keep it up. Don't worry." And so she said he was one of the nicest people I've ever worked with. And it's interesting, a lot of people say that about John Wayne when reading his biography. A lot of people said he was just down to earth. So I could go on about John Wayne, and we're not going to do that right now, but I could totally. So anyways, this movie is called The Legend of the Lost, starring John Wayne himself and Sophia Loren, and if you haven't seen it and you're a John Wayne fan, I recommend it just to see the Duke play something else besides a cowboy. Like I said, it's kind of fun to see him step into a different role than the cowboy role. So anyways, thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you check out the film. Let me know what you think. Bye.